And we're live. Welcome, people. Mi gente, how we doing today? Back at you with another installment of Highly Unoffended. Welcome, people. Nice, lovely night we're having tonight. A little hazy. The Canadians are putting some shit in the air. I don't know what the hell is going to do. We're going to mutate by next week. Who knows what's going on? Buena, buena. Once again, your Highly Unoffended podcast, like always, is brought to you by Number Juan Tequila. If you ain't number one, you number two. Who the fuck wants to be number two? Tonight, we're also being sponsored by Jim Dunlop Strings, MTD Bases, and On Stage Stands. Tonight with us, we got a world traveling bassist, actually Connecticut, one of Connecticut's own here. Um, this guy been everywhere. Got the T-shirt to prove it. He's been with J Lo, Harry Connick, Usher, Pink, Queen Latifah, Joe, Jaheim, and a bunch more. And he ain't bragging. I think I'm bragging because I went to high school with the dude. And we haven't seen each other in about 30 years. And I guess we got to send a shout out to your brother because, your brother was, the reason. I always asked about you in passing, when I run into your brother. But it happened. So without any further ado tonight, who do we got riding with us? We got Mr. Ace Livingston. Ace, how we doing tonight, brother? Clap, clap, clap.
I'm good, Jimbo. How you feeling? Man?
Oh, man, it's so good to see you. Mr. Ace Livingston, we played high school varsity soccer together.
Oh, yeah.
And we got some, we got some stories.
Oh, most definitely.
We got some ghetto stories, throwing rocks at buses. Remember that?
Oh, my God.
That was exactly, but no, it's been a long time, brother. It's so nice. And like I said, I definitely want to thank your brother for coming to see me for some, training. And, when he said you were around, I'm like, yo, get that dude over here. Let's talk it up, man. And
such a small world, man. We haven't seen each other since 1991.
Damn. It's crazy, man, because I'm about to turn to the big 5-0, and you do a lot of reflecting, you do a lot of thinking back and shit like that, man. And it's just like, damn, bro.
We all had, Jim, you had a nice head of hair, nice. It was all black, no silver inside. Man. Look at, we're all. But no, silver is not a bad thing. It's not gray.
No, I think it's wisdom, bro. I think it's wisdom
and seasoning.
And it's a little seasoning, and I just think it's knowledge, it's wisdom, man.
Yeah.
I think the shit don't come for free, and we learn how to connect the dots, and we learn not to connect the dots sometimes.
Right.
So you know what I mean. So like I said, when people say, "Oh man, how do you feel about it?" I said, they say that youth is wasted on the young. Definitely, man, because you definitely, when you're young, you pull some fucking banana moves, and then later you're like, dude.
But that's how the wisdom happens, right?
Learning
from those choices that weren't supposed to be.
What do they say at a job interview? Do you have any experience? No, bitch. If you don't hire me, how am I going to get this experience? If you hire me, I'll have the experience.
You're crazy. But I love it though, man. When it's a blessing to be this mature. I'm not going to say old. This mature.
I like that.
We have a lot of friends. Even we're just talking about from our high school that passed.
Ooh.
And it's like, so to be
and I guess I hate to say where we're from, but we could have went anyway.
Yes.
With guidance of love.
Yes.
we didn't go that way.
Thank God, yeah.
And we took a path and we rocked it.
And we made it this far, and we're still even at this level, like we're still trailblazers. We're still opening up the path so that others can be here. You know what I mean? Like what you're doing, what I'm doing. We're still creating inroads for others to come and do.
It's crazy because I talk about it all the time, and people look at me sometimes, and I go, you know what? Unfortunately, I think in our cultures, and I'm going to call it out.
Mm-hmm.
We're not taught to send the elevator back down for the next brother.
Exactly, that's the selfish
and,
stuff.
And I think, and I gotta say that's where like white dudes, man, they look out for other dudes, and like we're just not taught that. We didn't learn it. That you get to a level, throw somebody a come up, man. If somebody's worthy of it, help them out. Somebody helped you out, motherfucker.
That's why I'm excited that we're breaking the cycle. It ends here. In everyone we come around, we create an opportunity. That, like you said, if they show that they're passionate about this, then we help them as much as we can. And we break the cycle.
The guy who's the fire chief in this town, he's a Puerto Rican dude, and he always says to people, "Oh my God, my kid wants to be a firefighter." Da, da, da. And he told me one thing. He goes, "I'll give somebody a come up, but I won't give him a hookup."
Yeah,
bro, he said that to me, bro. It's like he punched me in the jaw one day. And I looked at him and I said, dude, I got to steal that from you. And he started laughing. He goes, kid, I've told 1 million people, you know what? I'll give somebody a come up, but I won't give them a hookup.
Because they'll never know the value. Remember, if there's a difference. If I gave you a pair of Jordans, Jen, if you scuff them up, yeah, it's all good. But guess what? If you have to work every day at Stop and Shop or wherever it is, and you put aside that money each week,
$5, $10, 15.
When you go get that thing at Foot Locker, you're gonna wipe that thing off every time you work. Keep it in the box, right? Because why? You know the value of having to sacrifice, put aside, and counting your money. Oh man, in 2 more weeks and the countdown. Now you take care of that. So, and that's the problem these days when we have this generation. Not all, but they lack the value of working.
Well, it's that African proverb that says, "No one knows how much the drop of water weighs until you got to carry the bucket."
I'm telling you.
So until you got to carry the bucket, you go, "Wow, this bucket weighs a lot. This is a bitch to move it." Maybe I've been a little ungrateful, but dude, man, what you been up to? Holler at me. We got your, you brought me some nice CDs.
Yes.
And we, obviously we already started talking music, and we started talking some stuff out there, and you're out there, man. When did you start? When did you take the plunge into this?
The whole music side. Well, after soccer, I got injured.
People, just so you know, this guy was a stud in high school. This guy was Freddie Adu before fucking Freddie Adu. when Freddie Adu got big, I used to tell people all the time. They're like, Jim, what do you think about Freddie Adu? I'm like, yeah, all right. What do you mean he's all right? I go, dude, I went to high school with a dude that would have smoked that kid. I said, he would have ate his lunch. Come on, people get mad at me because they're like, why are you hating on Freddie Adu? I go, I'm not hating on him. I'm just telling you that I played with a dude that would smoke him.
Man, it was the Jimmy. Thank you so much, bro. That's for real, man. Listen, soccer was my passion, Jim. Above anything else.
You weren't good at it. You were great, dude. Like
Thank you, man.
You weren't just out there. I was out there just to push motherfuckers around. And I was the team captain, I mean, I was the enforcer of the team. That's, I thought I was Bill Lambier for the team. I mean, that was my job.
Yeah, but you knew what you're doing.
Like I said, I was, I just was always down to fight. I was ignorant dork. You know what I mean? But yeah. So what happened with the soccer?
The soccer thing, I got injured. Never forget. Before the season started, man, I took a turn and I heard a pop. My knee. I was misdiagnosed. I'm giving the expedited version. I made a turn and I heard a pop. It was my ACL gone. My meniscus partially torn, but I was misdiagnosed. I was told it was a stretched ligament. And I said to the doctor, I said, doc, am I going to be back 100%? Because we're super competitive. He said, no, it's just going to just keep on popping out. So I never played soccer again. I mean, I played a few times, but because we're so competitive, I just rather not get, because I know how we work, right? So then I always played music. My brother Maurice, we all four of us, we all sang and played instruments. And my other brother, our brother Greg, he passed away 2 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thanks, man. So we all had a singing group called the Sons of Inspiration with my dad, because my parents bishop, my dad's a bishop, mom's a pastor. So we grew up in the church. Went to church about 3-4 times a week. Church was what we did.
Yeah, I remember. You were no thug. You were squared away, dude.
Very straight.
You were squared away, dude.
Yeah,
hanging out with some of us delinquents.
Guys, Jimmy was a tough dude, but he was a good dude. Definitely. And so now in church we had to play. We played. My brother sang. We all sang. But I played the bass. My younger brother played the drums. Maurice played the piano. My other brother Neil played the guitar, and Greg played the other keyboard. So we all, and my dad played the sax. He sang as well. So that's all we did. But after soccer, I needed something to funnel my passion in and through, and music started to become that thing. So I after playing in church, I needed more of it. So I joined this choir in Hartford that was traveling around, and I'm Jamaican, and gospel music is a different genre from reggae. So I had to learn that on the fly really quick, So I did it, and I mean, was just started to just grow musically, playing for them, but I needed more, Jimmy. So then I started my own jazz group, with a bunch of other PKs, Jason Chapman.
Just so you guys know, PK means preacher's kids.
Yeah, preacher's kids.
So somebody might say, "What's a PK?" It ain't a gang. It means preacher's kids. Keep going, brother.
Exactly. So all my friends, we're all preacher's kids. We started a group called Just Us. And,
okay, I like that.
Yeah, just to let you know, the keyboard player Jason Chapman, he's Pink's MD right now. Jeez. The drummer, Miles Johnson.
Wow.
He was Pink's drummer. But now he's playing for Georgia, this Italian artist, amazing, selling out stadiums. He lives in Italy right now.
So he's like Eric Moore playing for Eros Ramazzotti.
Oh, on a whole nother level. I'm talking about, and Eric is an amazing drummer.
Oh my God, we love Eric. I met Eric right before pandemic. I met Eric at the Hulu, and we hung out after the show. I got a nice pic with him. We chit chatted.
Did he spin his sticks?
Oh,
amazing cat.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Eric Moore, Dope Sticks. And he's somebody I definitely want to get on the show next time they come to the city.
Never met you before, Eric, but man, love your work, fan of your skills. Amazing, man. Keep on blazing.
Well, I kind of got into him when, he played for Suicidal Tendencies, a band that I love from back in the day. And I'm like, oh, shit, cool. They got a brother from Compton and Suicidal Tendencies. I'm like, this is cool. And then, now he's with Eros Ramazzotti. And he's everywhere with Eros. And I don't know how much you know Eros, but Eros is like an Italian heartthrob. He's been around about 3 decades, a little more. But yeah, the Italian people, that's their dude.
They take care. And you know what, though? I love it when good people win. I love to see when other people succeed, because it feels like I'm vicariously succeeding through them as well, So, and then the other band member, Dave Davis, he's a number 1 sax player around Connecticut. He's one of my, so we're all best friends. So, and that's how we started to do this. And then we did our jazz, and we were young cats playing jazz, which was unheard of, because jazz is considered an older thing,
obviously,
right? But they wouldn't let us in some of these places to play, But even before that, I got a confession. My own parents don't even know this part.
Okay.
You're
getting the exclusive here tonight, ladies and gents. See that? I got this guy disrobing already.
Oh my God.
On the first date, he's putting out for Jinji.
Can you believe it? Only Jimmy getting to do this.
All right.
I was under 21, and there was this place called Sully's in Hartford.
Yep.
And other places I couldn't.
It's a steak and cheese shop now.
No, yeah. But before it was like a bar, they used to have these jam sessions.
Yep.
Now the person that
Doug Wimbish always does his Thanksgiving thing there.
yes, his
With the
Lord,
kids.
yes, with the kids. They call it the Wimbash.
Yes, the Wimbash. There you
Yes.
go. Yeah,
Shout out to
Sully's.
Doug Wimbish.
Dug out to
Yes.
Bloomfield Zone. Doug.
Come on, legendary man. So at that time, my neighbor Chris Anderson, he's the one that turned me onto the jazz stuff because he would play Weather Report. He would play the Yellow Jackets, which is my favorite group in the world.
Yellow Jackets. I've done security for them a couple times.
See, Yellow Jackets, all of them. I mean, Jimmy Haslip, Will Kennedy, Bob Mincer, all of them. It's he brought the CDs out and he's like, Ace, can you play this? And I'll bring my little amp on his porch and I'll plug my little amp up and I'll emulate everything he played for me.
Jeez.
And I would bring his because in my or home, my parents never had secular music. So I would remember when we were dubbing CDs and you have to do it real time. There was no fast time. So I would borrow his CDs, Jim, and bring it in my house and dub the CD and practice. That's how I was, because I couldn't play it anywhere else. This was before the jazz band stuff. So fast forward now. So we're playing jazz all over.
So now being a PK, how were your parents about other kinds of music?
Well, they were strict,
So were they?
They weren't, it was about, gospel. And so I was.
Because I know, talking with, with like George Clinton, he said that like when he did Swing Down Sweet Chariot,
Yes.
And Glenn Goyne singing it, Swing Down Sweet Chariot, Let Me Ride, how the black community got really upset with him because he turned gospel into heathen music, because, it's George Clinton, Dr. Funkenstein and, all his shenanigans.
Yeah.
So he said a lot of the old school brothers just wanted to lynch him because they're like, you're taking our worship music and you doing that with it.
Well, as a Christian myself, it's like it's about bringing the message out. If we have this message that's supposed to save everyone else and we're keeping it within the walls amongst each other, it's just how we're not doing it any good. We have to bring it outside to let those know about it, right? Outside the walls. So that I thought was great. People get a chance to hear. And if Jim, if something is good and I share it with you, it's going to be infectious, then it's a win-win, right? Because
Exactly.
we want that. So, we're playing all over the place, man. And, to answer your question, no, they're about it has to be gospel. But I just wanted to go outside of those parameters. And because I really believe that my purpose, my why was way beyond the walls of Connecticut, so we started playing playing jazz around, but we wanted more. So we started to go down to New York and started sitting into these spots. There was a spot called the Blue
Note.
There's a Blue Note, but we weren't doing there yet. It was Chads and Wilsons and the Blue Angel, right? So we're this gentleman named Ron Grant. He passed away, so we would sit in, and Nat Townsley, amazing drummer, and all these cats playing there, and we would, as younger guys, sitting in, getting a chance to feel what it's like to be on stage.
Trying to get those chops.
Exactly. You had Stevie Wonder would come through there, Charles Oakley because that used to be the spot on the Sunday night where all the celebrities would come just to hear some good music.
You never knew who popped in.
Never. You had Sherry Pepsi Riley, an amazing.
It's funny what you say about jamming because last episode we had Tito Puente Jr. on, and he said that his father was just like, said, the only way you're ever really going to learn, you got to jam with other people. You'll never get the chops.
Yes, you have to.
He said that his father was just stone.
Yeah.
He's like, if you don't get out there, he's like, you're never going to pick it up.
Never will. Because in your room practice and whatever, it's all great. But as you know, sparring is great.
Punching a bag's never going to hit you back.
Never hit you back. So going out there, that was, Jim, we grew night and day, and it was my first time being in New York City.
Iron sharpens iron, brother. Iron sharpens iron. I say it a million times. People get sick of hearing it from me,
but it's facts. It's truth. It's proven, right? So imagine, Jim, you've never been to New York in your life before. Young Jamaican kid in New York. All of a sudden, you see these tall buildings, lights, blinking, everything. It's
Shit you
just
seen only in the movies.
only in the movies. I'm like, what in the world is this? And you're just in a, it's like a dream. You're dreaming live, and we're playing. But you know what? When you work for something, when you want something, that's why I'm never a believer that, you know what? Yeah, I can't do this. This is, if you want it, if you can dream it, you can make it happen. We were in New York, Jeff, sitting and playing all this stuff, but then we wanted more. So from that came the opportunity to go over to Cancun and play with Puffy and them, all of that whole, they had every Memorial Day weekend, whatever it is. We used to go there. We did it for 2 years. Then from, I'm even the highway version. So after that, we went and we started playing for this group called Divine. This platinum selling artist. It's a girl trio. We did that, and then a friend of ours, Miles Johnson, the drummer, or one of my best friends, he went and started touring with 98 Degrees,
Oh shit.
right? And so at this point, when you have brothers that look out for it, like you said, we talk about, he's not going to give you the hookup, he's going to give you the come up, right? Miles, because he knew of or work ethic and or non-quitting ways. He, the bass player Kurt Lyons and the keyboard player Lauren Dawson was leaving the tour, so he suggested, "Hey, why don't we bring my boys in?" Because of the way he plays, they trusted his word and brought us on.
Nice.
We went on their gym and we toured the whole United States, Canada, all over with 98 Degrees when they're at the top of their game.
Wow.
We did TRL 1999. We were playing Prince, Party Like It's 1999
Yep.
on TRL in 1999 before at the New Year's Eve ball dropping thing,
Bam.
right?
Hanging out with Mr. Seacrest.
All of that,
Nice.
it was. I mean, all these the top of the top acts.
What was the first moment that for you like, you know what? I ain't no 9 to 5 monkey. This is my shit here. I'm not punching the clock, bitch.
When we were in Madison Square Garden,
Damn.
and we were headlining, you had Britney Spears, you had Ricky Martin, and Living La Vida Loca.
Jesus.
The whole arena was rocking. I'm walking. This is before we went up, and I'm just walking around just to feel. And as far as you can see around, it's packed. Everyone is singing, and it's just they're singing the same song, Jim. It is thick, and the energy is just ridiculously high. And as close as we are together, you couldn't hear me talking to you. The sound felt like it's like fingers going in your eardrum like this. And I'm like, man, this is something different.
This is where I'm supposed to be.
Yes. And you're on stage and they're screaming the energy, the adrenaline rush. We were standing there, and then the light drops, and then all of a sudden you see these capsules coming up from the stage, and the sound, and it's swelling, and the rumble, and the subs are rocking, and the smoke, and then all of a sudden the song starts. 98 Degrees. They come out the capsule and they just start rocking, and we just giving it, and it's all live, and they're singing all the songs, they're screaming everything. It's like a big rush, and I mean, yeah. So that happens. So then after that, we went with Jessica Simpson. After that, we went with Joe. Then Mariah Carey. We filmed that thing. Thank God I found you in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and the list goes on and on and on. But it's just, when I am grateful and I'm blessed that I was the opportunity,
Madison Square Garden did it to you.
Oh yeah,
there you
and
go.
That was just one of the small. I mean, I'm not bragging, but just let you know, Carnegie Hall, Madison Square Garden, the Staples Center, the big and then I went to the talk shows. The Tonight Show was on there 4 times. We did The View, we did the Last Band.
See, there's something to say about my man, the bass player that does the song on Broadway, right or wrong.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's man. Listen, all of that been on all these shows, and I tell you, man, I believe when opportunity meets preparation, it equals success.
Click.
It happens, man, and you never take any second for granted because we work for this stuff, and when you're blessed with the opportunity to showcase that, it happens, man. I remember when everyone's sleeping, I'm practicing in the dark, you know, just getting ready because you might have a short window to do a lot, but because you've been depositing in that in yourself, building your itinerary of expressions. When the opportunity, I remember auditioning for Lauren Hill, you know, uh, just we all went in there, and man, she's standing like closer than you are. She's like, "Let me see what you got." Crossed her arm.
Do or die, baby. Do or
Yeah,
die.
but
Sink or swim.
I live for that stuff. I don't get intimidated. So you know what? The music dropped. I just started doing my stuff, running my and just and hey, listen, this is what she wanted. I gave it to her, and then she just smiled because I'm not gonna fold. We came. I was,
Oh, love it.
we don't do that, Jim. And I guess the competitive nature in me. I can't. If it takes me longer to get it, then it will. But I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna be good at it. And I believe God just gives me the faith and the work ethic to believe in myself and to get it done. And in doing all of that stuff, Jim, I've managed to help other people come on board,
My man.
help encourage them. I love teaching. I do a lot of, do a lot of that. And then I needed more, Jimmy, because I'm playing behind all these people. I was playing with Joe, his musical director, Jaheim, his musical director, Pink, musical, all of that stuff. I'm like, man, and I'm playing with Jennifer Lopez, and I'm looking at her and LL Cool J. We're doing the.
We know you were looking at Jennifer Lopez. Stop.
I was looking at her heart, and
Stop. Mhm. She's got a great personality.
Oh my God, man! But people can say what they want to say about her. She's a workaholic, man. She would come in, and we would run the stuff night and day.
She don't seem like a person that's going to take anything less than.
No, she is a work, and guess what? She is no slacking off. You come in, and I love that. When I'm there to work, let's get it. I'm there to work because at the end of the day, let's do all the other stuff afterwards. But let's get it done because when people spend their money, Jen, and their time, we talk about people passing away, young, middle age, whatever it is. They spend their time and they're investing their money to come see you play, sing, perform. We gotta value that. They could be anywhere else then, but they come out to watch you perform. So you gotta give them.
There's nothing like seeing an artist that leaves it out there.
Yeah.
And some of these artists do have that. You see like Dave Grohl says that shit all the time from Foo Fighters. He goes, you know what, man? He goes, anybody that saved a couple bucks and came to see my show, he goes, I'm forced to stand and deliver to this guy. I owe him.
Yeah.
He goes, I owe him that money.
Exactly. Sign the last autograph if you can. If you're not catching a flight, whatever, I will sign the last. I do it all the time. All the time, because guess what? That kid that you took a picture with, that you never know your music is inspiring them and they can be greater than you. That might be what's going to just push them into the next, like, you know what? This make me want to just sit a whole nother year to refine this, whatever it is that you're doing, and be great and be the next one. We talked about paying it forward, right? Helping the other one up. That's how we do it. So I needed more, Jen. So I said, you know what? I'm helping all these. We're in pre-production for the tour for Jaheim, because I was his musical director, right? So we were putting together his show, and I'm saying to myself, man, I did this for Joe. We all put everything together, and I have a story to tell too. All these artists that we play behind, we're helping them tell their stories. We're helping them put their performances and their presentation together. I had a story to tell. I have a story to tell. So I'm like, man, but I kept on doubting myself, Jim. Marcus Miller is one of my favorite bass players in the world. I'm like, I've known Marcus. Marcus is amazing. I would listen to him, and then my dream of doing it would just subside because I would be comparing myself. But Jim, as much as I can practice to sound like you, I will never sound like you. I'll always be number two to sounding like you.
Or they say be yourself, everyone else is taken.
Exactly. And then my friend Doobie Powell, amazing producer, drummer. One of my really good friends. He said, Ace, man, you really need to do this. You need to record your stuff. And he helped produce the Ace Livingston project. Now that was when I was just trying different things, you know, just to try to see what worked, what felt good, because it was my first time. Put it out. And sometimes, Jim, when you plant stuff, you're not going to see it break soil immediately. Years later, people will tell you about the fruit that they had from the tree that you planted, that you didn't even see grow to the height.
I've had stuff 4 or 5 years later come back to me that I said, I wasted my time on that, or why did I look out for this dude? And yeah, me and my buddy Mike, we've done stuff for people, and it's just like, yeah. That dude was a waste of time.
But you never know, man. It might be, timing is everything. Maybe 10 years later, that guy who you thought was a waste of time is that guy that's standing right at the door.
He might be the gatekeeper.
Exactly, to bring you into the whole other level of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So did that one. So
that's why you got to do shit with good intentions.
You have to.
You got to do shit from the heart. My buddy Robbie always says, if I do you a favor, it's a favor. If we're keeping score, we're doing business.
Exactly.
And like I said, my boy Robbie always says that on a weekly basis, and I keep that to heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell anybody, if I help you, man, I just help you to help you.
Not for no, well, I'm helping you now, so make sure.
No, I help you, man. If I can, I can. If I can't, hey, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Because, man, I believe, man, I serve God, man. I believe He brings you into situations, and I think how you handle it, it helps create the next thing. You know what I'm saying? But again, the heart has to be right.
I definitely believe that, people get put in each other's lanes for a reason sometimes.
Yes, nothing's coincidental.
And I just think that sometimes, when I started this podcast, bro, the kid that was helping me out, great kid, man, young brother, going to University of Hartford. And he was, into the whole thing, and I would just blow his mind. I was always giving him different beats. I let that dude here on this TV watch Herbie Hancock's Rocket. Dude, his face blew off. He's like, what is that? And we went down that rabbit hole that night. And unfortunately, the kid had a tragic accident. Yeah, he had a tragic accident. And all the equipment, the whole studio sat for like a year. And I'm sitting one night with a couple of drinks in me, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to eBay this shit. This shit's gone. Because I don't know what I'm doing. And I called around and see if, somebody would hit the colleges up. None of these kids want to work. None of these kids wanted to work.
Different day.
And so I got one guy, he came out to check me out, but he was politically on the other side of me. So he couldn't be, we couldn't be around each other. It was never going to work. And called one dude, left him a message, and the guy called me back. And the guy's like, well, can I come by and see your studio? And he came by and he's like, spent the money. He goes, so why don't you do your thing? I go, look, dude, I could buy a plane. Doesn't make me a fucking pilot. I don't know how to work this shit. So he's like, are you handy? I'm like, I got a couple muscle cars and a couple Harleys. I'm like, I'm not an idiot. So he started giving me homework and started teaching me how to do this shit and produce. And he's been my savior.
See,
my boy Bill Ahern from Tapeworks out of Hartford, and I owe the guy everything. Because if not, this shit would have been gone. I did not know anything about anything, man. I'm still learning it, but I'm way further than I was, a couple of years ago. People call me for advice. I'm like, really? You calling me? What you doing? I'm like, dude, I just know enough to get myself into trouble.
Let's see, you're right at the crossroads where either you can move forward, stay where you are, or step back. And you chose to move forward. Then and look.
I say it on a daily. I ain't come this far to come this far.
No, there's a reason.
So everything's going good. Ever had a low point in this? And you just said, you know what? I'm out of here, and I'm gonna get a 9 to 5 and go punch a clock like the rest of the 9 to 5ers.
Well, we're always tempted with getting the easy way out.
It's easy. Punch the clocks.
You know. And again, you got to be honest with yourself. You know, if you know in your heart that this was what you were created to do. But see, only you will you know that. Only you. I can't say it, because then there are going to be moments where, you know what, man, it's easy just to go back and go look a job in corporate America. You know.
Yeah.
But thank God.
Go be a cubicle rat, 9 to 5, punch a clock, go home.
Nothing wrong with that. If that's your lane, then, you know, hey, I have complete total respect for that. However, it's not my lane. See what I'm saying? And I just believe that when you work hard and you dedicate, it will happen for you.
Like, you know, when you hear some of these guys' stories that they're sleeping in their car, and I'm like, yo, that's work ethic. And it's just like, I seen the Hired Gun show.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the Hired Gun documentary on Netflix?
No, I didn't get
no. And what's his name in it? The drummer from John Cougar, Kenny something.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying that when he went and tried out, they told him to go home. We'll call you. And he said he knew if he went home, they were never going to call him.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude slept on the floor. And he's like, I'm not leaving, bro. I'm not fucking leaving. Mm-hmm. And he ended up being the guy for the band. Yeah. But you know what I mean? It's just
right. I'm on the road again. Just a little part. Nobody knows this. You know, I remember we were rehearsing in New York for Joe at the time, but the rehearsal spot is right near. I'm not going to say the name of the spot, but the rehearsal spot is right near the Javits Center.
Mm-hmm.
There was now those of you who know New York, when there is an event, the parking gets jacked up. The cost to park your cars in the lots.
Anywhere over there at Hell's Kitchen, you can't park.
No. So we parked the car in the parking lot in the Javits Center. There's an event there, a car show or something was happening.
Mm-hmm.
It was too much. We couldn't afford what it would cost us to get our vehicle out the lot to drive back to Connecticut. We had to stay in the studio. They didn't even know we were there. We slept in the studio. You know, they locked the stuff from the outside. So we couldn't even get out if we wanted to. And they didn't know where we stayed all night in the studio until the next day, because we were rehearsing for a whole week until we got paid to be able to get our vehicle out the parking lot to come back home. Nobody, or my parents don't even, my brothers don't even know this stuff. But I'm just saying that's
sacrifice, man. That's
sacrifice.
That's sacrifice. That says it all right there, man. That says it all.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's tough. So that's why, you know, back to what I was saying about the whole CD stuff. So I did that. I believed in myself, and I pushed. It took work, but I did. I did my next project called My Metamorphosis, the second one. So, and again, you know, follow me on social media, Ace Livingston, and Instagram, Ace Livingston, and TikTok. So
and my man on TikTok and the gram, people.
Yes, please. You know, so I did the My Metamorphosis. Now, you know, my metamorphosis means changing from, you know, a caterpillar to a butterfly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was coming out of what I experienced, and now I'm growing. So I'm starting to get the hang of what my sound is, Jim. I'm playing out. I've tried a few of the songs. It feels I'm feeling where my lane is. So then that happened, and then now my music it journals my path in life. So everything I'm going through, it's my musical journey. So every song has a story, every last one of them. So, you know, when you hear me perform live or you see it, it's not just me putting notes together because it works, you know, via formula. There's a story behind everything. So then after that, I'm like, you know what? That's great. But now I want to do something to let folks know where I am now. I recorded the next chapter, which just came out March 10th of this year. And that's the third one that's out.
Nice.
You know, and
the
again,
next chapter. Check it out, people. It's on iTunes.
Ace Livingston, you know, all iTunes, Spotify, all the
platforms.
All the platforms, you know. And I thank you, Jim, for having me on here, man.
Oh, dude, like I said, it's just, you know how it is. Everybody's running different directions, yes. And you know what I mean? I was just glad to, you know, to get up, and like I said, we definitely got to break some bread and
Yeah,
do some
yeah.
off mic talking.
Of course,
But,
definitely.
the shadiest gig you ever worked? What is it?
God, Jim.
Shadiest gig you like? Yeah, we would have. Tell me something. You ever worked a gig that you're like, we might not make it out of this place?
Well, fortunately, no.
No.
I've never been in that, those situations. But I remember um, performing out of town, and you know, or manager, the room that we were supposed to stay at, we couldn't find or manager at the time because
Oh,
so we had to sleep in our vehicles until the next day.
shady bastards.
So I'll tell you, but it
It molds you. It
it
molds you.
builds character, man. So that's why, Jim, I always show up to play. I don't care if it's in front of one person, because all that you've been through to this point, you know, you never know who is there. I pray that my music inspires, heals, encourages, motivates, just take you from a place of whatever it is to a place of peace. So I make sure that I'm in this nice peace. I'm not rowdy and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So there might be one person, Jim, on the verge of committing suicide, right? But the music, the message in it makes them rethink and say, you know what, man, maybe it ain't that bad after all. Let me try this again. Let me see what it feels like tomorrow. Because maybe there's something, maybe I'm just a step away from the opportunity that's going to change everything for me.
Let's hit the try again button tomorrow.
Exactly. Just like that, Jim, and you're a good guy. You're a positive cat, so people talking to you, it helps that optimistic resurgence in their being.
I can't complain, and I can't walk around being sour, man. I don't see it. I can't walk around with some fake ass scowl on my face. It's like I tell people all the time, you walk down the street, you see these little thugs walking down the street all hard, cool. You ever get to a red light, you see somebody in a fat ass car looking mad? No, you don't see nobody no high end car. Yo, what the fuck you looking at, dog? You don't see that, man, because obviously they doing all right.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I just don't get it. What's the best piece of advice that anybody ever gave you, Ace?
Man, so many, because most of my friends are older. Shout out to Nat Reeves, one of my mentors, and Jonathan DeBose Jr. You know what? Never take any second for granted. Always make the most of every second that you have. And the other thing is, if you don't have anything positive or good to say, don't say anything at all. Because your words, you can never take your words back.
Nope.
Once it comes out, you can't pull it back.
Feels good though to call somebody a bitch ass sometimes.
Goodness gracious, Jimmy!
All right, you see the phone booth behind me here?
Yeah.
It's a 1953 phone booth.
Mm-hmm.
Took me about a year to restore that thing. It's magical though.
Mm-hmm.
So we always tell everybody, usually my co-host Ramon usually got to remind me I slip up on it.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to say, if you can walk in that phone booth and pick up that phone and talk to the 21-year-old version of yourself, what would you tell him?
I would say,
what would you take a second. What would you tell him? Tell him, and anything. What word do you think you would give the 21-year-old Ace Livingston?
I would tell the 21-year-old Ace Livingston to make sure you pray, ask God to guide you, write down your goals on a piece of paper.
Manifest.
Exactly. And get people that are in the lane that you're mentors, and listen, because their wisdom is going to help you avoid pitfalls that they went through.
Oh yeah.
And just always help your peers, help those who you can help, because because of what they can do for you, but in helping them, you never know the generations that will be helped based on your actions in helping them. See what I'm saying? And always keep a clear heart, because anything that comes through you, if you're not clean, it's gonna make whatever is coming out of you toxic.
Dirty's it.
Exactly. So just work hard. When like Mayweather always says, like, work hard, dedication. You know, when opportunity meets hard work, success is it's gonna happen. You know, just to be focused, and nothing in life is easy. You have to work for it. You
Are
know,
you on? Are you up on Dave Goggins?
no.
Oh, I got to get you up on Dave Goggins.
Mhm.
Oh, I'll hook you up. Yeah, that guy's the shit.
Man, yeah.
Guy's like, he's a super being. I'll
Mhm.
get you up on him. But yeah, good. That's I like that. I like that. Yeah, definitely. You know, one of my big mentors always said, you can't soar with the eagles if you're hanging with the turkeys.
Exactly. Exactly.
And like I said, varsity hangs out with varsity.
Hmm.
That's why I tell people, call it what you want. You think you're better than people. You're pretentious. I go, nah, man. I just don't got no JV cats in my circle.
No,
I
exactly.
said, I just got no room for JV cats in my circle.
Hmm.
If you ain't varsity or aspiring varsity,
Hmm.
you know what I mean, fall back, brother. I don't need you around me.
Yeah, because like minds, birds of a feather
Totally. Like I
flock
said,
together. Hmm.
like I said, freaking our age, we looking at making that money. How we gonna retire? How we gonna be living
Yes,
in the future? We ain't got time for the bullshit.
no, not at all. It's about, man, and Jimmy, you're not. We love helping people, man. We love it. I get a kick out of it. It's my to be able to help someone make me feel good. I don't care about the visibility of. I don't care about all that part. Just to be able to make a difference, to share music, to help them, to connect people with
You don't
someone.
need the visibility when you always shining, brother. You don't need the visibility when you always shining. You don't need it, kid. Brother, it's been so. Tonight it's been. I've been today. I've been waiting for this all day because I'm like, man, we haven't. I think the last time we talked this long, we were on a bus coming from somewhere for
Yeah.
a soccer game.
And guess what? The buses we were riding in, the blue bus, we had the shocks. It was not. Yeah, them things are with the big Gatorade bucket in the middle. Of the
Yeah.
back,
You have the blue buses. Good Lord.
Jimmy, I still have my. God, here I am unrolling it. I still have my Goodwin Tech. The shirt, the soccer shirt or
Yes.
jersey. I still have the orange one.
Nice.
Because we had an orange one and a white one.
And the way games, like home games.
Yes, I still have my man, Jimmy. I didn't know how small I was. I was little, but good times, man.
It was fabulous times, and it's funny because as a kid, you'll never know how good you had it,
never
how
know.
easy it was.
We had now. Remember when we were younger, right? We had the Y on our license.
Yep,
We
the
were
yellow wine.
Yes, we were in such a rush to get. Man, I can't wait to grow up. I can't wait for them to take the Y out.
That shit was like an allergy. You had to shake. Yeah, you're right.
But
you're
guess
right.
what? Now we look back, we're like, man, because we went from being 16, we couldn't wait to get over 21 to get the Y out. Then the 20s, we went from 21 to 30.
Oh, click.
Then from 30 to 40, and we're like, oh my God. Then you start looking at the high schools and you're like, wait a minute, these could be my kids. They're so young. And now here we are, and it's a blessing. So looking at the whole thing, man, I don't complain about, oh man, I'm getting older.
No, I don't look at it that way. I thank God where I've been. I've had, I got great people. I got a varsity circle around me on a
Yes.
daily. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I can't complain. I had a good career in law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
That pays the bills now.
Mm-hmm.
People say, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" I go, a little thing called whatever the fuck I want. How about you? Go punch a clock. You know what I mean? I still work, obviously, but I do what I want now,
Yeah.
man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the gun thing, training, rolling,
Mm-hmm.
and I get to do this.
Yes.
This is the shit to me. You know what I mean? I love this, and it's the bomb.
And it's a blessing, man, because it helps us. Your show, your podcast, is giving us a platform to share our music. You're spreading all of this stuff all over the world, man, and we thank you for this, because
it's like your music. It's the same thing. It's just
hand
it's
in
different.
hand.
It's a
Yeah.
different, man.
Mm-hmm.
So where are we at next, brother? Where are we going next? Where are we playing at? We going anywhere?
Oh yes, we the Hartford Jazz Festival is like home for me. I'm not playing this year, but
Mhm.
you know, I'll be out there to support and whatever. But I'm always playing. My next situation, I'm performing in Detroit.
Mhm.
I think is it the 23rd or that Thursday. But some things are on the horizon. They're alternatives, but with the new my
We,
new
me and one of my guys, we're going to take a road trip to the Iridium to see Dennis Chambers. You should
yeah,
roll with us.
maybe that's my real good friend Dennis.
Come on.
Mhm.
Oh, dude, that's next to Omar Hakim, Dennis Chambers. Like I went to go see him with the Ozzy Ganoim
Mhm.
trio. I
Mhm.
seen them at the Iridium a couple months back in the wintertime.
Yes.
Oh my God, you love this story. So I'm standing by the door, right by the bar,
Mhm.
drinking my hand. People are coming in, and there's a young girl at the door working the clipboard.
Mhm.
So this girl comes down the stairs. This club is like a basement.
Mhm.
So this beautiful, she's like California hot. And there's a dude behind her, and he got a baseball cap on.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at him, and I catch finally a good look at him. It's Joe Bonamassa.
Wow.
So Joe Bonamassa tells the girl's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Sits him in the worst place. And she don't know who he is. And I kind of want to tell her, but I don't know if it's in my place to tell her.
Mhm.
Like, yo, don't bury that cat.
Mhm.
So I'm conflicted. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna shut up, drink my drink,
Mhm.
shut the fuck up. So sure enough, like a sound guy comes over and goes, yo, why'd you put Joe Bonamassa in the worst spot of the club? She's like, oh, is he somebody? And they're like, dude, please move him. So she had to go back and grab him and his date, and
Mhm.
they moved him. But yeah, this girl had no idea. She was young. But yeah, she put Joe Bonamassa. She had that dude almost scrubbing dishes in the back. I'm like, come on, boo. And he was so cool about it. He ain't front. He ain't. He ain't go diva.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, you know what the fuck. And he was like, okay, no problem.
Mhm.
But he must have been like, yeah, she don't know who the fuck I am.
The real ones, you know what? You don't sweat the small stuff.
And it was funny because he was there to see Dennis Chambers.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I said, I was there to see Dennis Chambers.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going back there in a couple of weeks. So like I said, we want to run to go see.
Let me know. I might.
Yeah,
if
man.
I'm here, I definitely do.
Yeah.
I love checking music out. Like last time I saw D was the Mike Stern trio. Where were they at? I forgot where. Someplace in Connecticut. But that's
So like this place called the Iridium, Les Paul owned it.
Okay.
So there's all old Les Paul guitars,
Mm-hmm.
and like people just pop in.
Yes.
Like if you go on YouTube, Billy Gibbons went in there one night, just walked in,
Mm-hmm.
and he set the place on fire.
Wow.
And people were just like, "Whoa!"
Music, man. Nothing beats live, Jim. As you know, nothing beats
No,
live.
you know what I mean. I've worked rock, rap, gospel, country. I've worked with Kurt Franklin. I've worked with all the Winans,
Mm-hmm.
PVCC.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked with Wynton Marsalis, and just live is live, man. And unless you ain't got a soul, well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got a half a heartbeat and a soul, man,
it's something that, and if you're not just a big human callus, if you can
Yeah.
feel a little bit,
yeah. But but I think you gotta like music, and I just don't mean like one genre.
it's like anything with a message. That's my thing. I like it all. It has to have a message to it, and whether it be country, rock, whatever it is, if there's a message in it, I listen for the message. I'm like, wow.
What do you think about new rap?
New rap?
Garbage. I'm gonna say garbage.
Man.
I got hose, I got rims, I got a big chain. I'm gonna steal your chain before you leave here. I'm gonna steal your rims.
I just ask myself, what's the message? What's it saying? And sometimes when you put it on paper and you read it, okay, let me read what the message is.
I seen a thing with Ari Spears, and they asked him, "What do you think about new rap?" He goes, "Well, let's see. Let's take some of the old rappers against the new rappers. Little this guy, little that. It's like he goes. It would be like LL Cool J against the Special Olympics. He goes. Those guys are just. They're just. He said they look like Tim Burton villains in a movie.
Different times.
It's just horrid.
I mean, Jen, you're going from a generation that we talk like this to a generation to this.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in front of you and I'm on my phone the whole time. I don't say hello. I don't say anything.
Well, these cats get somewhere. The first thing they ask is, "Yo, you got a Wi-Fi code? What? Say hi to me first.
How about this? Hey, how you doing?
Say hi to
What's
me
your
first,
name?
bro. Like when people's kids come, hey, what's your Wi-Fi code? I go, why don't you acknowledge me first?
Mm-hmm.
And we both come from countries where children are, third-rate citizens.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't do that. Well, yeah, man, it's just.
I'm not used to that, Jimmy. I'm not used to the new not having respect and all. I'm not used to it, and I never will.
Dude, I'm gonna be 50 years old in a couple hours, and I still crack off my ma'ams and sirs like I'm a freaking 10-year-old kid.
Exactly. I can't call someone that's older than me, but I'm not on a first name basis. I'm not like that.
No, it's not in our DNA, and it's not gonna be.
And it don't mean that we're better than anybody else. It's just I'm just not like that. That's just my way of being respectful. That's how we're raised, man. But yeah, man, we can talk for hours, for days, because this is what we do. We share, we help uplift, we help spread good vibes.
Dude, it's so good. It's so, like I said, man, we haven't seen each other since 1991. This is such a good hang, and like I said, yeah, we definitely got to catch a live show.
Yeah,
we definitely got to go check something out in the city, because city got shit popping on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Gotta love New York City.
Yeah, man.
It's such an energy in New York City, man.
I mean, it's unlike when you go out of your town, man. It's just they appreciate you a whole lot more. But I'm gonna try to change that, Jim. I'm trying to have a more stronger home presence.
What are you doing with the teaching? You trying to teach some kids now?
Oh yeah,
because I know Wimbish is huge. Wimbish is.
Oh yeah.
He's got that little kid now. That little kid that he does. Oh my God, have you seen that? His little prodigy. Mm-mm. Oh man, he's a New York kid. I've seen him at BB's a couple times, and I forgot the kid's name, but he's just, dude. He's like a little Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
The kid is out of control.
Oh yeah, man. I teach kids from 7 years old all the way to retired.
Wow.
Yeah, and I love it, Jim.
I'm gonna have to sit on one of your sessions. I gotta get elite bass.
Oh yeah, listen.
I tell everybody I'm the worst percussionist in the world. But that's my claim to fame.
It's all right. But hey, listen, it's music. It's your way, man. So can I just plug my social media?
Go ahead, baby. You gotta plug it.
If you want to book me at your events and stuff like that, just go to Ace Livingston Booking. Just ACE Livingston Booking. No, let me just double check. I think it's Booking Ace Livingston.
He'll come in, kick your kid's ass, Start yelling at him in Jamaican. Go on, boy. You don't do that. Disrespectful.
Oh my gosh. Let me go to my link tree. Let me see where it's.
Start hitting your kid with a switch. Wow.
Jim, you go get me. Let's see here. Let me see here. Where are we? You're right. You forgot I should know this stuff. But, right. Unbelievable here. But yeah, Booking Ace Livingston. That's how you get me.
Go.
And my Facebook, you could always get me there, Ace Livingston, ACE Livingston, like my page and Instagram, all of that stuff. And my music is on all the digital platforms. Just type in Ace Livingston, it will pop up. And thanks for listening to us, man. Jim, thanks for having us.
Oh, brother, this has been this has been great tonight. Like I said, it's just you're an old episode of a great show that I haven't seen in fucking 30 years, man. So it's just something I'm still a little dumbfounded by it.
Bro, invite me here anytime.
No, we're gonna jam out. You're gonna have to get one of my boys up here. We'll jam out one night. But yeah, man, I'm so glad that you've been blessed. You've been out there doing your thing. You know what I mean? And if you're doing what you love, it ain't work every day.
Yeah.
And you're it, man. Like I said, I just remember when your brother would tell me at the gym, oh, he's playing with J-Lo, he's with Britney, and I'm like, what? I'm like, jeez.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, damn. I'm like, well, if he plays that instrument the way he kicked the soccer ball, I'm like, well, makes sense. And so, what's your brother Maurice play?
Piano, he sings.
Okay, oh shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We all sang together, man, growing up, and
that's fabulous. Yeah. I never knew you played the piano.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's just, man. Let me tell you, you meet people you never know. You just never know.
It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. Like I said, brother, thank you so much for coming down, giving us some time. And people, thank you for coming for the ride tonight.
Yes.
Once again, hopefully you were entertained more than me. I thought this was phenomenal. Like I always say, let's try to treat each other a little bit better. Help the next guy out. And thank you for coming for the ride. Good night, America, wherever you are.
Love wins. Let's go.
Love always wins.
Jimbo.
That's a wrap.
Jim, you run, you know, boy, you be moving, you be working this stuff, brother. Jim, you serious business. Oh my God. Jim, we got to do this again, man. Jim, got